want you to watch this. She is nervous as hell just being tied up. It's a good time to go in there and show her she doesn't need to be nervous. What's up? See how she pulls that? Good girl. And then I'll just pull her back in. Good. You don't need to. She didn't pull back. So she realized that she can move. Touch her here. Touch her here. And don't do this if your horse is tied up solid to a pole or something. I mean, I've seen horses pull back extremely hard. And the one time it happened when I was there, and I had to get out a knife and not kill the horse, cut the rope. So very relaxed from my side, and I'm just flagging her all over the place, on top of her, underneath her. I'm just gonna get rid of these flies for you. Remember, she needs to be in situations where she's got the opportunity to trust. If I'm very quiet and always gentle and not doing anything scary, she's never gonna figure it out. Or she is, but maybe it takes a very long time. And then if we're in a very scary situation for her, I don't think she'd be quite willing to, let go of her instincts and follow my suggestion. She may think, stupid human, doesn't really know what is life-threatening and what isn't. Good. Okay. So that's a little bit on the tying up. She's not kicking anymore. Let's see what happens if I go behind her. Good girl. Nice yield there. And that rope is there's a lot of slack in that rope now. Touching her under her belly, that's where the girther is going to be. This is where the saddle is going to be. Good. So, being tied up is not the end of the world. That's the message. Now I'm going to take her closer to my saddle. I'm going to do a bit of an exercise here that gets her. Do not push your shoulders into me. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Getting closer to my saddle now. Yield. And that wasn't a yield, baby. That was not a yield. Yield properly. Yield, 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 yield. Bit of a bigger step, bigger step, bigger step. That's better. Getting there, getting there, getting there. Good. So she did do a couple of soft steps there, and I was just waiting for it to happen again so I could release. And really pay attention to the slack in the rope. Good. Now yield nicely, yield nicely, yield nicely, yield nicely. Big yield, please. Big, big step under. Yes, that was nice. That was nice. So she's protective of that right eye, right? So here's where we're going to work. Need to work here. Need to work here. I'm not going to hurt you. There you go. See? We're going to have to work on this right side more than the left. So what does that tell me? If I do one thing on one side, I do it twice, maybe on this side, or maybe 15 times, I don't know. Good. So she knows that's gone away now. Now we're going to teach her how to flex. No, you need to yield properly every time. Every time you're going to yield properly. Properly. Find your legs. Find them. There we go. Now I'm just using my rope to desensitize her. I wouldn't do this immediately because I'm close to the horse. She could do anything. Okay, now I feel comfortable. There, she's already giving to the pressure of that halter, but we need that flexing to happen. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Slide, pick up, and hold. She gave, I released. Pick up. And that stomping with the legs is more about the flies. I appreciate that. Give. Give. There you go. Just going to be doing a little bit of this with her. Give. 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 Good girl. Give. Good girl. That's it. That's enough. So what we did on that side, we're going to do twice as much on this side. So especially towards the head and neck. She needs to know that I'm not going to hurt her. I need to prove that to her, right? Good girl. She didn't pull her head away there. Okay. Then we go a little bit of flexing. So now, of course, she wants to move, or she thinks it means move. She's gonna figure out, because I stay with her until she stops moving her feet, that is what's required initially. And then you need to give a little bit with that head and neck. And this is all good because it gets her figuring out how to yield. There we go. Once you yield, you feel a bit better, huh? Now hold. Good. Released on that, on the wrong thought there. So she was still thinking about moving, but she gave. Hey. Good, now just give. No. 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 She needs to figure this out. Saying, what on earth does this guy mean? What does he want? She's stepping on her feet. She's stepping over herself. Come on. There. That's what we want. Okay? No. Good. So she pushed into me with her shoulders. I had to push into her. Don't push into me. Good. Didn't need a bumper that time. Let's yield. Let's yield. Let's yield. There, that was good. Now give. Good girl. Let's yield. Let's yield. A good yield, please. A good yield. There. Walk forwards a little bit. Think forwards. Think forward. There. Good girl. Now we can go back and flex. Easy. Whoa. Flex. That's just a tiny give. Right. We are going to go for the big, scary stuff now. Going to tie her up. Get her to figure out that being tied up is a good deal. Hold. There we go. Remind yourself to relax.